We are rarely in the master bedroom, aka the spa. We're here doing a little close up with the newest admission to the Kitten Academy. Can you believe that? We didn't really expect that we were going to have any new admissions until mid-November. Mid-November is when we're planning on having our next mom cat come in. But this little guy turned up at a deli in the Bronx. So not too far from Rue's old stomping grounds. And he was rescued there by someone that has been a long-time friend of Kitten Academy. And so they contacted us to say that they were going to, take care of this little kitten. But I think there was some little undertones, a little hint of, hey, maybe he would fit in okay with Rue's kids since he's from the same place and he's about the same age. They thinking that he's about a month and a half to 2 months old at the time. So anyway, one thing led to another, and I say one thing led to another. The thing I'm yada-yadaing over is DJ saw his picture and immediately had to have him here regardless of anything else. So that's what really happened was the minute DJ saw his picture, it was all over. And she decided that he would be attending the academy no matter what. So that's now he's here. His name, by the way, is Tomfoolery. That's why the weird title for today's stream, if you even noticed. Tomfoolery or Tommy, or we're going to call him a lot of things because there were some other names that DJ was considering that were pretty good names, and he'll probably get called that once in a while too. For instance, everybody on Discord was calling him Pastrami. So I was calling him Pastrami Malik because that's funnier. And then DJ called him Salve, as in Salvador Deli. And then there was a push to get him named Sketchy because Sketchy is a name that fits with both of the classes, Rue's and Mural's class, right? It goes both ways on that. So that works out pretty well. But in the end, DJ decided on Tomfoolery as his name, a.k.a. Tom, a.k.a. Sal, a.k.a. Pastrami Malik, everything, whatever you want. So that's our boy. He first off, originally they said 1.5 to 2 months old. That's based on his weight, okay. But a little kitten that is hanging out around a deli in the Bronx probably going to be a little bit underweight, and his weight could also be go the other way or either way because maybe he's got some worms or some parasites going on. So it's really difficult to judge a kitten's weight accurately to within a week by his weight. And it's also very difficult to tell it by his behavior. But I can tell you one thing: he eats very well. Probably, not a big nurser. So he's just on food right now. And that combined with his ability to get around, he's able to climb and jump and run, and there's not any stumbles. His coordination is very good. So putting all that together, I estimate him at least 2 months. That would be my guess. A good solid 2 months, maybe even a little bit more than that. Even though at his official weigh-in, which we haven't done here, by the way, I haven't weighed him yet here. I need to do that this morning. I was going to do it during this close-up, and I forgot. I started early because DJ was in here feeding him, but then that stopped before I started the close-up, and et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, I haven't weighed him yet, but his weight was just a little over 1.5 pounds, which would put him, just a tiny bit heavier and just a tiny bit older than Rue's kids. But I think he's actually a little bit older than even that would suggest. And I'm just guessing. There's not any especially good reason for that. I could be wrong. Could be overweight, big. I don't know. Could be a lot of things. So it's all guesses, speculation. But at any rate, his name is Tomfoolery. He came to us yesterday. He's been staying in the spa since then. He hung out. Custard was in here with him all night long. Custard's gone back to his room, so right now he's in here by himself. But we're going to introduce him to everybody else, and we're just trying to figure out the best way to do that. He is a little spunky. He loves to play and wrestle. You can see he's wrestling with me right now. His bites can be a little bit too strong. So he's got some toys to take it out on, like this little thing he loves. It's one of the new Beanie Babies with the big eyes that are kind of disturbing. I think it's a lamb. And he actually came with a whole bunch of toys from the person that found him and called us. she sent along a whole bunch of toys that he liked when he was staying with her for just like a day. So this is one of these that he's really liked it, and he brought it with him. This is all stuff that he brought with him, actually, including a sweater that he liked, and this little bunny rabbit, and this weird little hamster thing, rat of Nim. I don't know. Oh, this one didn't get brought with him. That was here already. This little super unicorn. Anyway. So what was I saying? I was saying he's a little bit bitey. He's got some toys that he likes to bite on, and that's okay. But I'll tell you what was surprising about it is one concern in bringing him to the academy was that he would be too bitey and too aggressive because, he hasn't learned all those lessons from his siblings or from his mom about how much biting is okay around other kittens. This is a problem in air quotes problem. It's not a big problem, but it is a behavior that we see a lot of times with kittens that haven't been around siblings or haven't been around a mom cat. They can be just a little bit more unrestrained. They don't have those limits set by their mom necessarily. So that was a concern about him. I'll tell you though, after last night, I'm not as concerned because when Custard came in, his initial reaction to Custard was to be all scared and puffed up and try to look big, which he does a lot. And so he was all puffed up and staying away and really wary of Custard. But that went away after about a minute and a half. I convinced him that Custard was okay. And then he spent the whole rest of the night like, you ever have like a kid around that really thinks you're cool, and you can tell the kid really thinks you're cool, but he's been told not to bother you, or he doesn't want to bother you. So instead of addressing you directly, he sort of like gets his toys and he does everything he can near you so that you'll notice him. That's exactly what this kid was doing with Custard all night long. He wouldn't go up and touch Custard because that would be too presumptive. But he would do everything he could to try to get Custard's attention. Like Custard would be in the pod, and Custard would just be in the pod doing his own thing, and the little kitten Tom would come up and start biting around the edge of the pod and playing around the edge of the pod and climbing up around the pod and looking in at Custard. But he wouldn't go as far as to actually like try to touch Custard. He's just like, please pay attention to me. I'll do anything to get your attention except touch you. So that's where he was all night long. In fact, I don't think that he and Custard ever really got together, but he was fine with Custard being around and very, very respectful. So surprisingly respectful. If he's going to be that good with the other kittens and the mom cats, I don't anticipate much of a problem. The trick is going to be getting them past the sort of hissy stage that he started at, and I think that is going to be the real trick. So my plan right now is we're going to introduce him to the rest of the faculty, without too much concern. I think that's going to go fine. The faculty's big enough. They're not going to have their feelings hurt if he starts out a little hissy, and he's certainly not going to do any damage to them, even if he tries. So I'm not concerned about faculty introductions. But when it comes to introducing him to Rue and to Mural and to their kittens, I think what we're going to do is introduce him to Rue's kittens first, just the kittens and him, so that they get past that hissy introduction stage, because we know about Rue, and mom cats generally, but Rue has already shown us that she is this kind of mom cat where if her kittens start hissing at something, Rue will run in and lay down the law, even if no law needs to be laid down. So when these kids meet, they're very likely to have some initial hissing just to sort of set their boundaries. And if Rue is around and can hear that hissing happening, she is going to run in and make a smackdown, which we do not want. So my plan would be to introduce him to her kittens first and get them all to be buddy-buddy, and then introduce him to Rue, and then maybe introduce the whole group and see if he can sort of join Rue's kittens or not. If he can, great. And if he can't, now TJ's already decided she can just have a faculty adjacent spa cat that runs around the house for a while, like Paisley was, the last few days before her adoption, and basket weave and all that kind of stuff. So he'll just kind of be around. So we'll see. Anyway, as you can see, he's super adorable. He needs to be a little less bitey, and I am working on training him that. What you're seeing here, these bites he's doing are play bites he's being restrained, so that's appropriate. But sometimes he bites too hard, and that's when I need to give him correction. So that is something that we're going to work on together. Yes, and mixing smells. Yes, Mayfair Forest Witch, you are correct. That is another thing. That's why we don't bring him in right away. We also followed our own rules. I should mention about that. While I'm talking, let's go see some of the other kittens in the house because this is not all about tomfoolery, and I think you've gotten the idea for him. Plus, I think he's going to settle down, and you'll get to see more of him on the live stream. We'll do those kitten introductions on the regular live stream, probably even this morning, depending on how much time I have free. So I'm not going to give an exact schedule. We'll do them whenever it's convenient for me, unfortunately. But if you keep an eye on the Kitten Academy live stream, at some point I'm going to bring him in, bring Rue out, bring him into Rue's room, and they're gonna meet. The kittens are going to meet probably today, almost certainly sometime today, probably soon. Okay. Let's see. I was saying something else important about him though, and I interrupted myself. Smells. Oh yes, the things that we do. Okay. Buddy, you can stay here. He's really claimed this pod as his space, probably because all of his toys are in it. But he does also, he gets around the house, and I mean the room, and has explored the whole thing. Has a good time. Oh, he's tried to follow me out, but he just rolled his pod. Buddy, is that how the pod works? You're going to get used to this eventually. Hi. Hey, what's going on there? Oh, is this a whole new game now? Oh no, sorry. Oh no. Oh, okay. I guess we're still here. I accidentally dropped the phone and then hit a button that took the stream away. I hope we're still here. We'll see. Anyway, so what we did when we brought him in is we made him all comfortable here in the master bedroom with his toys, with some food. We showed him where the food was. We showed him where the litter box was. We showed him where we were on the bed. And then we let him get his bearings for a while. So, we played with him, we hung out with him, but we also, like, for instance, to show him where the litter box is and where the food is, you put him in the litter box and you let him find his way out. And you do the same thing with the food. You put him at the food and let him find his way around the room from there. And it's the same with the bed, really. We put him on the bed, let him find his way off. We put him off the bed, let him find his way on. And once we know that he's sort of had time to explore the whole room, and gotten comfortable with it, and he's starting to seem like he's settling in, only after he's settled in and sort of claimed the room as a place that he understands, then we bring in Custard. Then you can introduce another cat, then you can start to bring him out and show him the rest of the house. But the very first thing that you ever want to do whenever you adopt a cat or a kitten is give them their own space, free of any other cats or, anything that's going to be scary. Give them their own space, let them get used to that space, make sure that they know that it's their space and that they're comfortable there, and then think about doing things like introductions and, all the rest of the stuff that you might want to do. All right, hang on one second here. Before we go into this beautiful room and see these nursing little babies, do you see them there nursing? I got to do a little hand sanitizer, okay? So let me just do that real quick. Hang on. There we go. He does look a lot like Paisley, I agree. There is a certain Paisley resemblance in his coloring at the very least, and maybe a little bit in his attitude too. We'll see about that. Anyway, so we've started moving things around. I don't know if you guys have seen this room since we started moving things around, but these kids, hi. Okay, so this is Mural and Mural's class, as you can see. And we should weigh them while we're here since there's a scale, and since I didn't weigh anybody yesterday, so we got some catching up to do. At their age, though, and at their healthiness, we can go a day without weighing. It's not going to be the end of the world. So, Rob, yes, if we've had torties before, that is torties right here in front of you. So, let's see. I was saying, that we rearranged the room. So one of the reasons that we did rearrange in here is that they were starting to come out of the box on their own. Little Squiggle here climbed out of the box to see Mom and then couldn't figure out how to get back in. So we took the box and we switched it for the one that has got no barrier. And so they can just come and go as they wish all day long. And they've already started doing that. As you can see, they're all out here on the floor nursing today. But they're not doing it very much. They're mostly still hanging out around the box, which is fine and normal. They also got their own litter box here because they were peeing in their box and we didn't want that to keep going on. So time for a litter box. They're 3 weeks old today, so they're probably not quite ready to start eating real food, and the food is still on the other side of the barrier that we put up. so they don't explore the whole room yet. But I haven't started giving them the food yet because even though they're ready to start, they're probably not going to be successful eating it yet. So it hasn't been a big priority with everything else going on. But you're probably going to see food in their space in the next day or two. We're going to start trying to give them food here and there and get them used to the idea, slowly but surely. And probably in about another week, they'll be eating, or that they should be. It's about 4 weeks when we expect the weaning to really start to happen and work, and they start eating, and that's about it, about 4 weeks. So they got about a week left before they're really ready for that. But until then, it looks like Muriel's got them covered very well. And who is this that's just sitting in here all by her lonesome? Oh, this is our tiny one, too. This is little Scrawl, the smallest little kitten. Scrawl, you need to eat because you are the runt in the family, so eating is especially important for you. We'll see if Scrawl's going to do it. So I just wanted to show you guys the way the new room's laid out. I moved the beanbag to the other side because I wanted them to have more space to run around, and this room is a little cramped, surprisingly. Other than that, it's more or less the same. We got the box over here, but cut down with the blanket in front. We got the floor camera over here, and we have their pineapple over here in case they decide that they're going to start hanging out in a pineapple. And you can see I've made a nautical theme with the blankets, I suppose, because we got those whales inside, and we got all these fish and stuff outside, and so it's an undersea pineapple. I don't know who would live in something like that. Maybe these kittens will. We'll see. So that is, of course, the pineapple in which Splotch was delivered. It's where Muriel was initially going to have her kittens in that pineapple, and I had to be like, nope. But now it's back, and so they might find it. I know they like to hang out in it because I use it as a carrier to bring them over to the master bedroom when they have had their spa time. Muriel's really talking to Edge. She's like, what are you doing? We're eating. We're not playing, and I can't get away from you. She's a sweetie. Of course, you might notice that we are giving her dry food, and you'll notice that in the other room too. And we're doing that because she is just so skinny right now, and the dry food usually does provide some extra calories. Of course, the downside is that the dry food also makes her have really bad poops, which is one reason that we typically avoid it. And that is the case now. She's been having some pretty bad poops. So it's a trade-off, and it's a real balancing act. It's hard to say which one provides the better benefit. But we're trying everything just to make sure that she keeps getting those calories in. Hi, Edge. What are you looking at? So I have mentioned before the last few close-ups about the eye goobers. You see Edge got a little bit of an eye goober there. Yeah, and like I've said in every close-up, it's going around. We're aware of it. I'm keeping an eye on it, no pun intended. And if it turns into anything to be concerned about, we certainly will be. But right now, it doesn't seem like it is anything to be concerned about. I got Trace over here trying to play with me. Hi, Tracer. Okay, let's do those weights like I said that we were going to do. So let's pick up the scale right here. I'm going to put it all the way over here behind me because there's just not much room. Hello. I should also tell you guys, yesterday I came in here while Muriel was out running around the house, and I sat down in the beanbag chair, and I brought all of her kittens, and I put them all on my lap in the beanbag chair, and we were having a big old beanbag cuddle fest, and I left the door open. And we got visits from some of the faculty. Eddie actually kept coming in here and looking at the kittens, and he wanted to be petted by me, but he didn't want to get too close to the kittens. And when I actually, I thought he was getting comfortable, so I picked him up and put him close to the kittens. Then he noped out. He was like, nope, and ran out of the room. But that's okay. He at least came in, had some fun, visited some kittens. This little tiny blep, hi little tiny blep, that is our first kitten here, Splotch, the girl, Splotch, the polydactyl girl. Logie came in for a little while too. Oh, sit right there. Hang on, you don't have to yell about it. 13.8. It's a good little weight for Splotch, I think. Especially at 3 weeks, they're right on schedule. That is perfect. Eddie. Oh, yeah. So that's what I was going to say is that after Eddie came in, then Logan came in, and Eddie was still here, and I was really worried that Logan and Eddie would start sort of growling and maybe even fighting like they do sometimes, and that would bring Muriel in, like I was just talking about, because growling and fighting around baby kittens really sets off mom cats. But they didn't growl or fight, and Muriel actually came around and saw both of them in here hanging out with her kittens. Didn't care a bit. She is just so easy going, and she gets along with everybody all the time for every reason. Really sweet that way. Anyway, this is our second female polydactyl kitten, Trace. Trace, we're having some trouble focusing on. There we go. Hi, little Tracy. Okay, so that's Trace. Trace weighs 14 point nothing. Oh, hi, kittens. Do you see some kittens over there looking at us? Hi, buddy. Oh, he is actually looking at me. Okay. Anyway, so that's Trace. We're going to go over and see those other kittens in just a minute after we're done weighing these kids. So we'll talk about them once we get over there. All right, next on the list is Etch, who's over here playing in the box, doing his own thing. He must have had plenty to eat already. He's got a little bit of an eye goober. Let's see if I can just kind of get that thing with my finger. I know my pants are a mess too. I'm covered in baby food and cat food and kitten stuff, and it's been a real messy couple days. Looking forward to getting a good shower today. Anyway, that's our Etch. He's also a polydactyl. He's a boy this time. This is one of the two boys in this class. And you can see his extra beans. He's really showing them off there for you. Etch weighs 14.3 ounces today. All right. Good job, Etch. Excuse me. All right. That's Etch. The other boy, of course, the other boy also a polydactyl, is Doodle. This is him right here. Oh, Doodle, you got a little bit of extra fuzz on your hair. Let's check your eyes today. You're looking clean and clear. Oh, but unfocused. There we go. Focus. Yeah, looking pretty good. That's Doodle. He is a polydactyl little boy. It's a black kitten. 12.8 ounces. That's pretty light, pal. You should get in there and keep eating. Putting all of his growth into his light fur, I think, and not as much into his body, perhaps. The light, speaking of light, the light in their box just turned off right in front of me for no reason. It's plugged in. We lose something in here? Who knows? All right. I'll figure that out afterwards. Let's keep moving. So that was Doodle, the polydactyl boy. So that brings us to Squiggle. Squiggle, of course, the girl non-polydactyl that I mentioned is the first one that climbed out of the box all on her own. The whole reason that everybody's nursing al fresco today. Out here in the open. There we go. 14.4 for little Squiggle. I don't know what I just called her. Squiggle is her name. That's Squiggle. All right, Muriel's up. Hi, Muriel. Hang on. It's not your turn to get weighed yet. Let's weigh Scrawl first. Scrawl's always been the smallest in the group and has these little, she has such a funny little baby face. I just love her little baby face. It's the cutest thing. I got to get pictures. Well, the last pictures I took actually show it off really well. 11.56. 11.55. Anyway, definitely lighter than everybody else, as you can tell. Definitely still the tiny one in the group, but so cute. And I was just about to say, the last pictures that I took really showed that baby face. Like, she just looks like a little space alien. It's so cute, and I haven't published those yet anywhere except on our Discord, but when I do, lots of pictures to show off what I'm talking about, how cute she is and how cute they all are. Hey, Muriel, while you're sitting here, let's weigh you real quick too. Come on, let's just include you. Oh, yeah, you are getting light. Okay, we're going to say 7.3 pounds. It was just right around there, 7.25 maybe. 7.25, 7.3, anyway, just over 7 pounds. Not bad for her, but not great either. She's just these little milk vampires, tiny little milk vampires taking it all out of your mom. So that's why we got to make sure she keeps eating as much as possible. There we go. So that's Squiggle, and this is Doodle. Squiggle, Doodle. This one is Trace. Excellent camera work today. Sorry for all that. Hi, Trace. Okay, yeah, we got some eye goobers there too. Sorry, I should have cleaned all that up a little better. Then we got our tabby twins. This is the first one is Splotch. And then that makes this one, I'm trying to do this without looking. Splotch and Scrawl. Yes, Scrawl. Got it. And then in the corner, we've got Etch. Perfect. Hi. Oh, what did you just say? Did you say you wanted a kiss, Trace? That sounded like you wanted a kissy kiss. Okay, now you got to all the kisses because you made an angry noise at me like you were surprised and scared to see me. That gets kisses every time. All right, well, there we go. We saw all of Mural's kids, and we saw the new kitten Tomfoolery. If you didn't see us talking about that, you'll want to rewind to the beginning of today's close-up to watch that part. Oh, it's funny. My hand just landed on this. I wanted to show you guys. You know those little mice that are the little white real fur mice with the red nose, and they rattle. They're small. You know the ones I mean. The reason I'm describing it instead of showing you is I wanted to show you I gave a brand new one to Mural and she loved it. And within 10 seconds, it was squashed down and all like eaten up. Look at that thing. It's normally very mouse shaped. She's done a real number on this thing. She made her own flat mouse. The poor little thing. Anyway, Mural loves it. She loves that little thing. Big winner. All right, so these kids are going to be running in and out of the box. I'm not going to figure out what's going on with the light right now, but I will right after the close-up. So that is going to be after the close-up. For now, you can check the... Oh, she's already over here playing with it since I threw it behind me. You like this thing a whole bunch, don't you? It's fun. She's like, yeah, I do, but come on. What are you asking me to do? What are you asking me to do? Just be a Mural, it's fine. Oh, is he nursing now? So funny. You're so funny. You're so tired out. Okay. All right. Let's go next door and see Rue's kids. All right. We need to do a little more hand sanitizer in between the classes. So hang on one sec. Oh, look at that. We're almost at time, and I want to weigh all the kids in the next room, too. So we're going to have to talk fast. Honestly, though, I don't know if there's too much else to say about Rue's kids right now, except that they're all healthy, wonderful, active, a real joy. I know you want out, Mural. Just wait. You were out all morning already. You just got back in there, in fact. So hang out a little more. Oh, hang on, Rue. No, Rue, you don't want to go out. Neither do you kids. These kids have been running out the door a little bit. They're very bold. Rue can't go out unless I'm out there to watch her because she does get a little growly at the faculty, and I want to make sure that that's all controlled interactions for now, Rue. Just controlled interactions, okay? So you can't come out here yet, but we'll let you come out in an observed way in just a little bit. For now, you stay in here, okay? Yes. Oh, I was going to tell you something funny about Rue, though. Which is, you probably have seen this if you've been watching the regular live stream. Hi. Okay, very zoomy kittens right now. If you've been watching the regular live stream, you will have already noticed that Rue likes to bury her food, but she takes it to the next level because if she can't find anything to bury the food with, she'll actually pick up the food and carry it around until she finds someplace to bury it. Like she's been burying stuff under the blankets over here, and she's been pushing it under the closet door. And just all around the room, like she likes to, I guess, hide her food all over, which is, it's cute, but it's also very messy. It's very messy, kiddo. All right, hold still. We're going to weigh you in reverse by zeroing the scale now that you got onto it. And then we'll just let you get off, and that'll be your weight, won't it? So... Hang on. We haven't added any babies in, though. Here, Rue, come on off the scale for a second. Off the scale. Come on off the scale. 6.47. That's about what I would expect. About 6.5 pounds. There's Mural. We can see her right through the door, and she just got a hiss from Rue. Rue, you don't have to hiss at Mural, though. You guys have met. Speaking of, let's start weighing the kittens and naming the kittens. But while we're doing that, they have met. In fact, yesterday we did a long session with them and the kittens in the hallway. So it was Mural and Rue, and the door was open, so all of her kittens were also able to come out and participate. And that was on the regular Kitten Academy live stream, so I'm sure people got some footage of it. Not the best cameras out there in the hall. They're more intended for security than kitten streaming. But they did do the trick. And I'm pleased to report that it went very, very well. But a lot like what I'm talking about, the way that it ended in the end was that Mural came in here, which was already pushing her luck, and started eating the food. And that was going to be, I think, mostly okay. But then one of the kittens hissed at Mural, and that brought Rue running to settle the score, which wasn't even anything happening. But the little hiss from her kitten, and she turned into like angry mom mode instantly. So that's one thing that we really got to look out for, sort of informed that way. Anyway, let's go through the kittens in order, at least as in order as I'm able to remember, which means we need to start with little Caper, who's somewhere over there. That looks like him next to the camera. So let's also switch this over to ounces. Perfect. Caper right here. Caper, as you know, is the one that is the classic tabby, and you're really starting to see a big old circle on his side now, aren't you? Which is the classic tabby identifier, that big old circle. Oh, and the scale just turned itself off. All right, let's turn it back on. So this is Caper. Caper, let's see your face for a minute while we're waiting for that scale to set. Oh, you guys are at a beautiful age. Look at that beautiful face. Caper, so pretty. Okay. Caper, gonna sit right there. Caper, you can always tell because his tail's like a big old check mark. 17.2 ounces. Pretty good, but not quite a pound and a half like our new kid, Tomfoolery. So you are gonna be outclassed by him a little bit on the weight and a little bit on the activity, but hopefully not too much. We'll see. Hi, Caper. Hi, buddy. I know you just want some love. These kids are so loving. They all want to run over and play with me, and I'm sure they would all be in my lap right now, except that we just did that a few minutes ago. Oh! You do not need to get in the coffee. He just dunked his face in the coffee. Aw, pal, come here. Come here. Let me give you a little kiss to clean some of that off, pal. I know. Just because they call it black coffee doesn't mean it's for black kittens. That's not the way that works. Okay, all right, kiss some of that coffee off. All right, a little tiny bit of coffee's not gonna hurt, and besides that, it's not very hot anymore. Oh boy, not as good as it looked though, is it? Your eyes are already changing color. Look at that. Can you see how green they're starting to look? I think you can. This, by the way, is Gambit. That's Gambit. So we're going to get to weigh him last, and we'll come back to it. But first, we need to dig into this unicorn because we're looking for hijinks. Oh, and I think this is him right here. Let's see. Oh, no, I was wrong. This is not hijinks. This is Hustle. Where's hijinks? Where is hijinks? Oh, he's over there wrestling behind the infinity scratcher. Do you see that action happening in there? Hustle, we'll get to you next, all right? You wait right here for a minute. Just wait right there. I think Hustle's going to be a long hair. Do you see all this extra long floofs that he's got all over? It looks like he's got some serious bedhead. I think he is going to be a long-haired kitten in a class and a family that's mostly short hair. But let's stick to the order here. Hijinks. Hijinks. Oh, hijinks. Oh, come here, buddy. Okay, hi. Hi, it's you we're looking for. Yes, it is. Hi, hijinks. Okay. And the scales turned itself off again, of course, because we took too long. Let's just turn that back on and look at hijinks for just a second while we wait for it to boot up. Oh, that's a very potato pose, buddy. You do. You look like a little potato face. And you've got a tiny little eye goober. There you go. All right, let's weigh you real quick, hijinks, and then go back to whatever you were doing. Oh, 19.4. All right, you're a little closer to our guest, aren't you? Just a little bit. Of course, a pound and a half in ounces is going to be 16 plus 8, so that's 24. They are all a little bit off from that. Anyway, so this is Hustle. Hustle. And Hustle, as you know, is the one that's got the little frog legs going on in back and possibly a long hair. And you can see right now even, he's getting much better at holding himself up. Now he doesn't want to because I'm trying to show you. There you go. You can see he's getting his legs under him real well when he's walking already. So he's sorting it out, even if they do tend to splay quite a bit when he's sitting. Or I was pretty funny this morning. So this morning I came in the room, hang on, 19.6. I think, did we already weigh you? Or is that the same as your brother? I don't know. Somebody's keeping track. Anyway, 19.6 for little Hustle. He's just looking right at me. You're so cute, though. Can I give you a little kisses? Oh, okay. Yeah, I came in this morning to hang out with these guys and have my first cup of coffee with them, which still is my first cup of coffee, I believe, and I need to finish it. Anyway, when I came in, I discovered that there was poop all over by the litter box and then food all over everywhere because their mom, like I said, likes to pick up her food and carry it around to bury it. So with all that mess, I had to take all these kittens out and put them in DJ's office so DJ could keep an eye on them. She's home for another interview today. So I put them in DJ's office, and then I cleaned this whole room this morning, vacuum, washed stuff up, switched out the litter boxes, the whole thing, super extra clean. And then when I went to go get them from DJ's office, this little guy, all of them were all nursing, except for this guy was off on the other side of the room, pushing himself around. Her room's all hardwood. There's no rugs in there. So he's like pushing himself around the room with his little frog legs spread out. And it was just so silly, sliding himself back and forth across her room like he couldn't stand up. And he can stand up, as you can see. He does fine, but the wooden floor, he's just sliding around. I called him my friendly neighborhood slider man, which I thought was super clever. Friendly neighborhood slider man. Okay, well, I was so proud of myself, I had to tell you guys that. Now, let's look for, this is Gimmick. Should be Gimmick. Let's look for this little white spot there under his chin. Show me your white spot under your chin so I know for sure it's you and not your sister. All right, there it is. Okay, we saw it. Okay. He's like, oh, no. Scale again, getting away from us. So this is Gimmick. Gimmick the boy, of course, and Gimmick's defining feature is his little white spot, as you know. That and being awesome. There we go. And he weighs 18.4 ounces today. And he's like, what is happening? He had his ears back for a second, like he's really surprised by everything. The wide eyes. Okay, buddy, you get a kiss too. Too cute. Okay. Then next after that, we need to find our one girl in this family. She's almost, I almost always find her over here having a nap right in the middle of this unicorn bed. Isn't that so cute? Little girl in her little pink bed. It's too much. It's too much of a cliche. You're being too much of a cliche. You're so cute in that bed too. It's funny because that bed was sent specifically for Princess Paisley, who never cared for it whatsoever. And now we've got a whole family that loves it so much, it's sure to go home with one of them. Maybe with this little girl. I love it too, by the way. 17.2 for her. 17.2 for, Sham is her name, by the way. I don't think I said Sham. Hi, Sham. Now I said your name, you're going to look right at me. Hi, little Shammy Beans. Okay. So that's Sham, the girl in the class, and that leaves us with just one left. And the last one is Gambit, our little boy Gambit. Yes, hi, Gamby. What happened? You get some of your own floof stuck in your mouth? He might end up being a floofer too. He's a little floofy, but of course, the way we tell him from the others is he's got all this sort of gray salt and pepper on his back end there, as you can see. So that makes him stand out, a little easy to identify. Put him down there, and he is 18.7 ounces. Good. That's the whole family. Oh, we weighed Mom first too, so we got everybody. Got everybody, little Gimme. Gimme. Nope, you're not Gimme, though. You're Gambit. Yes, Gammy. Gammy. Isn't Gammy what the kid calls his grandma in Arrested Development, right? His eyes are starting to change, too. And you guys are 5 weeks old today, so I never remember what age the eyes start to change when people ask. I never remember. But now let's see if I can remember next time. We're at 5 weeks and we can clearly see it's happening a little for these guys. So that's a good way to remember. They are 5 weeks old today. I don't think I said that before now. All right. Well, hey, we have got to, we got to go. It's been 40 minutes. It's much longer than usual. Of course, I had a little bit more to talk about today than usual, especially with Tomfoolery coming to us from the Bronx, the same as Rue here. Also came to us from the Bronx originally. Of course, she had a much longer journey to get here. But I'm hoping that we can introduce Tomfoolery to this class and that they'll recognize each other's accents, and that will help them to get along immediately, maybe. Let's see here. Given that these guys are 5 weeks old and Tomfoolery is just barely older than they are, it's not likely that they could have ever met, of course, outside of here in the Bronx. The kids, definitely not. But even Mom, probably not. No, I don't think so. That wouldn't have happened. I get the impression that Rue was picked up more than a week ahead of her, or more than a week or two ahead of her delivery, because she had been holed up in Hoboken, New Jersey for a little while after she was picked up in the Bronx. And I don't know exactly how long a little while was, but long enough for them to realize she was pregnant. Anyway, yeah, so that's lovely Rue from the Bronx. And if you want to try to see that introduction between these kids and the new kid, all I can say is keep an eye on the Kitten Academy live stream, or keep an eye on Discord if you're on our Discord for Patreons. I'm sure that it will be covered there. I'm sure somebody will archive it as a big event, even if it turns out to be a bunch of nothing. I could bring them in here. They could just hiss at each other, run away. They could start fights, and I just split them up right away. You know, it could be like a 10-second thing for all I know. Or it could go very well, and you could end up snuggled up with them. I don't know. But I'm not going to do that right this minute, because my number one priority is a lot more coffee. My number two priority is actually probably to clean the rest of the room downstairs so these kids can move to the big room downstairs. I didn't show you, but yesterday, as I was waiting for our new kid to show up, I did clean out the room downstairs, and I vacuumed, and now today is the rug washing and sterilization. And then, actually, I should do the sterilization first, shouldn't I? And then wash all that. And then after that, probably this weekend, these guys will be ready to move downstairs. We'll see if I'm ready, of course. If Mom is going to keep hiding food, and if we're going to keep finding poops around the room, oh man, I really stepped in one last night too. It was awful. It was a bad poop, and I put my foot right in it, and it went right through my sock. Oh, ugh. And then I didn't have any cleaning supplies here, and so I had to literally tiptoe all the way downstairs to get the cleaning supplies because I had poop on my heel. Yeah, so that's part of the joy of being a kitten foster. Stepping in poop, it's going to happen. It was fun, though. Anyway, yeah, so we might get to move them downstairs as soon as this weekend. The room should be completely ready this weekend. The question is whether the kittens will be completely ready this weekend or whether I will be completely ready this weekend. So we'll see about that. Look at that, good climbers. They can already get up and down the infinity scratcher anytime they want. If I pushed it just a little closer to the beanbag, I'm sure they could get up there on their own. Very mature, 5-week-old little kittens here. Also, historically speaking, I've started to add collars to the kittens between 5 and 6 weeks. So they're just about ready to get kitten collars. I feel like they could manage it. Of course, this group does need collars because it's too hard to tell them apart at a glance. All right, okay, I'm done. Look at that. I rambled another 5 minutes after I said we were done for sure. Now we really are done for sure, and I'm not even going to give you the long, silent wind down like I usually do. We're just going to end it right here. But if you want to keep watching the kittens, you know... Oh, hi. He was jumping at the same time as moving my hand, and he jumped right into my fingers. If you want to keep watching these kittens, they're on the Kitten Academy live stream on this camera and on some other cameras, and the ones next door also on that. Tomfoolery not on it at the moment. If we can get him combined, he will be. And if we can't, he mostly won't be. But we're going to keep featuring him because the whole point of bringing Tom in here is to get him adopted out. So there you go. Oh, hey, that reminds me. Okay, look, I'm really done. We're going to end it. I'm going to end it. One last thing I want to say, though. We set up the schedule for all the vaccinations and the spays and neuters for all of the kittens in the academy. They're all scheduled already. And the practical upshot that I can tell you from that right now is that they will all be ready to go home with their lucky adopters, might be you, the first and second weeks of December. So these are going to be some real, like, sort of Christmas kittens. In fact, the girls won't be entirely ready to go until December 17th. The boys will be ready to go a little bit earlier than that. So definitely something to think about as you're thinking about adopting kittens. If you wanted Christmas kittens, that's exactly what these little kids are going to be. Oakley dokley. Now we're really gone. Have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.